another episode of In the Kitchen with Sandy. Today is Tuesday, March the 6th. Happy Tuesday to you guys. Today I'm making a very wonderful, I'm calling it a noodleless lasagna because we're going to try to do like a little low carb type dish here. We're going to try it. We're going to do it. This is going to be absolutely amazing. You're going to love this recipe. It's very easy to make. It does require a few different steps, but I think you're going to be okay with it. It's delicious, and that's what matters. Is it is absolutely phenomenal. You're going to love this. But in here I've got about a half a pound of ground chuck. I like to use ground chuck. You guys know I like to use ground chuck. It's my favorite ground beef to use because it has so much flavor. And I don't have a lot of it here because I don't want my sauce to be extremely meaty, because like I said, I'm making some little baby tiny meatballs to go around it as well, because what I'm looking to create is, you know, when you get a bite of lasagna, you get a big bite of those noodles. It's delicious, delicious noodles. But I'm looking to replace those noodles with some other ingredients. It's going to be just as well, and, you know, kind of cut down on the carbs. I've got my stovetop here on about medium, slightly over medium, and I wish it would get to go a little bit quicker than that. But I'm just going to saute this up until it's nice and brown. Alright, I went ahead and drained my meat, and I added it back to my pot here, and now is when I like to throw in my onions. I always feel that if you cook your onions and garlic with it, and then you drain it, you're draining off all that nice flavor that you've cooked right into that meat. So I like to throw mine in there after I've drained my meat. And you're going to throw in some of your garlic here. That was about a half of a medium onion, just diced. And this is 3 large cloves of garlic. I'm going to reserve a little bit of this garlic for my meatballs. You're going to throw that right in there and give that a toss. And I'm going to go ahead and put some onion salt in it as well. I like to add a little bit of onion salt. Onions don't give it, about a half a teaspoon. Onions don't give it a whole lot of flavor. It kind of adds to another, just a layer of, you know, bite to it. But if you're looking for an onion flavor, you got to add onion salt or some onion powder, or, you know, whatever. I like to add a little bit of onion salt to it. Or you can use powder if you've got the powder. But if you do use the onion powder, you're going to make sure that you do add some additional salt to this. I'm not adding any salt to this. And then we're going to go ahead and add some of our Italian seasoning. I'm just taking the lid off this because I like to eyeball it. And honestly, I probably use about 2 tablespoons of this, because you want it to be nice and Italian-y. And I'm going to use some black pepper. Oh my gosh. Maybe one day they'll develop something to where you can smell as you're cooking. That would be amazing. I like to use a nice little pinch of about a half a teaspoon or more, depending on how spicy you like yours, the red pepper flakes. I'm also going to throw in a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes in their juice. And this is just the Kroger brand. You don't have to buy expensive brands of tomatoes. Tomatoes are tomatoes. Alright, I'm also going to use the same 28-ounce can of tomato sauce. Put that right in there. And to this, I am going to add my signature blend seasoning. If you do not have any of this yet, you need to get it. It is $8 a bottle, and it is so well worth it. And it has everything that is absolutely amazing in it. I'm going to go ahead and add some of that in there. We're going to turn this down. And then I'm going to throw 2 bay leaves in there. And then we're also going to add just maybe a 1/4 of a teaspoon of sugar, just to cut out some of that, not the tartness, but the, oh, it's hard to describe what it is of the tomatoes, the acidity of the tomatoes. And look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Are you getting the gist of that? And it smells phenomenal. Now, we're going to let this go. Now, how quick and how easy was that? And this is going to make for a beautiful, beautiful sauce to go over your lasagna. Alright, to my meatballs, I've got probably about another 1/2 pound of ground chuck here as well. And what I'm going to do with those is basically the same that I've done with my meat sauce. I'm going to add a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes. Depending on the heat. I mean, red pepper flakes doesn't give you a lot of heat, but they do give you just enough heat. The perfect amount, in my opinion. And we're going to use some garlic salt for this one. About a 1/2 teaspoon. You want your meatballs, that's quite a bit of meat there. You need to season every bit of that. And we're going to also use, instead of using whole onions in this, I'm going to use the onion flakes because I like my meatballs to have a little bit more smoother texture than using the regular onions. And you're going to use probably about a 1/2 teaspoon of those. Oh, it smells so good already. And we're going to use some Italian seasoning as well. Don't be afraid to season that. You've got to season your meat good. That's probably a good tablespoon and a half. You want to make sure they are seasoned. And then also I'm going to go ahead and hit them with my signature blend seasoning, which has, it has a mixture of all kinds of goodness in there. You guys have really got to get this. You need to go on my Facebook fan page. Follow me on my Facebook fan page. I post on there all the time. All the time, friends. We're going to throw an egg in there. Look, I got some fresh brown eggs. I have a supplier. Throw 1 egg in there. I love brown eggs. I have a lady that I work with that she has chickens. And she always supplies me with that. And this is almond flour. We're going to use just enough almond flour just to make sure that these beautiful little meatballs stay nice and packed together. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and give that a mix. Because I put garlic salt in there, I did not add any extra salt. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta put my garlic cloves in there too. I like it garlicky. I don't play around. When you come to Italian dishes, when it comes to Italian dishes, you gotta have it garlicky. And you gotta get your hands in there. You gotta get your hands dirty. These are your best kitchen utensils. I don't know of any other way to make meatballs or meatloaf, for that matter. It smells delicious. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take just a little bit of it, and we're going to roll these out. Like I said, these are just going to be little tiny meatballs that are just going to dance around in my lasagna. Just roll it, take it between your hand and just roll it, roll it, roll it. See, perfect. Look how cute that is. That is so tiny and so cute. We'll do another one together. You don't want these too big. I guess if you wanted them big, you could have them big, but this is just what I'm doing. I want to make some little tiny meatballs to go in there. Because my sauce is not like extra meaty. Normally I make my sauce a little bit more meatier if I am making lasagna, but this time I just wanted it to have, sometimes I like it with just more, saucy than just meat. And just roll it around. That's all you do. You see what I'm doing? How simple is that? Now I'm going to continue to roll these out and I'll show you what they look like when they're done. All right, my sauce is looking and smelling amazing, absolutely amazing. And I want you to look at my little baby meatballs. These look absolutely phenomenal. I am gonna pop these in the refrigerator until we're ready to get this whole dish started. Again, I'm gonna let my sauce here cook for about an hour and a half. And then I'll meet you back here and we'll get to our zucchini ready. But I've taken about 5 or 6 of the smaller zucchinis that I got at Kroger's yesterday, and I cut them lengthwise, obviously, and I got about, some of the smaller ones I got 3 pieces, and some of the little bit thicker ones I got 4. I'm just off the chain today. But I want you to look at the thickness. Look at the thickness of that. See, it's nice and thick. You want it a little bit thick. I had to turn my oven back on. By the way, I've got my oven preheated at 350 degrees right now. Let's get this lasagna put together, because I don't know, I've been in the kitchen all day. I'm not sure. I'm just losing my mind. All right, so what I'm gonna do first is, I'm gonna get you over here where you can see, but let's fish these bay leaves out real quick. 1, 2, and I'm telling you, I tasted this sauce. It is off the chain. Let me tell you, it is off the chain. Sometimes I amaze myself. Yes, I'm tooting my own horn. We can do that. We're women, we can toot our own horn. Or men, maybe there's men watching. You can toot your own horn too, baby. Toot that horn. All right, let's angle you down this way so we can get this put together here. Oh, that camera's a little. Well, there you go. How's that shot for you? All right, let's get the lasagna put together. I'm also going to use some ricotta cheese. I'm going to use about half of this because I used half of it for my other dish that I just made. So this is 15 ounces, so you're going to use probably about 7.5 ounces, 8 ounces of the ricotta cheese. If you don't have ricotta cheese and you want to use the other cheese, cottage cheese, that's perfectly fine. What I'm going to do first is, I'm getting ahead of myself. And by the way, my sauce cooked for almost 2 hours, and I'm telling you, it is phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. I think I might have put just a little tiny bit of too many red pepper flakes for maybe my husband's tasting, but you know what? It is what it is. He's just going to have to find him a nice water hole to sit in, I guess. But this is absolutely amazing. I kid you not. But we're going to put just a little bit of the sauce down here so you don't have to worry about spraying the bottom of your pan. I don't think I have enough battery life left on my camera because I have been filming all day. And that's enough. You just want to kind of put just a little bit on the bottom of your pan just to keep anything from sticking. Now, you're going to layer just like you would if you were using noodles. You're just going to layer your asparagus. You know it's not asparagus. Your zucchini right in there. And you know, I've seen people make this like a lasagna casserole with nothing, no other vegetables in it. So, no noodles, no vegetables, or nothing. And I'm not going to put a whole lot of this ricotta because my husband is not a big fan of ricotta. You could use, like I said, the cottage, the ricotta, and you're just going to kind of layer that right in there like that. No worries, we're going to add a lot of the other cheese. And you know, you don't have to spread it perfectly. You can just put it right on in there. And then next we're going to go ahead and, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, people. Let's use a bigger spoon. I've got to get this put in the oven. Look at that. You're not even going to know the difference. It's going to be less carbs, of course, because of you're using the zucchini instead of the noodles. And just kind of spread that around. You want to save enough of your sauce to go right on top. We'll do some of the meatballs in a minute. the meatballs will cook perfectly in there. And then you're going to add some of your Parmesan cheese. Oh. And I like to also add some mozzarella. A little bit of mozzarella, a little bit of parm. Makes for a wonderful, wonderful lasagna. Sometimes I like to add just a little bit of, just a little tiny bit of like the sharp cheddar. It just gives it an extra yumminess. Look at that. Then just go ahead and place your meatballs just randomly in there because you're going to want them to be covered with sauce. And again, if you just want to make this and not put the extra meatballs in there, that's fine. But, you know, it's whatever you want to do. It's your kitchen, your playground. You do whatever you want to do. I'm going to continue to layer this, and then I'll show you what it all looks like when I get it all put together. Now this is looking absolutely phenomenal. Look at that. Don't you agree? Look, you got to make sure you cover each and every one of those little meatballs up. Those are going to cook perfectly in the oven. Missed one. And you know what? I had just enough sauce to go right over that. Go ahead and spread it around. Now I'm going to cover this with foil, just because I always like to cover my lasagna with foil when I'm first cooking it. This is going to go in the oven for about 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. I'll let you know the exact time. Got to make sure I get all my meatballs covered there. And then we're going to take the foil off of it, and then I hope the lighting's okay. And then I'm going to add some additional cheese. I like to put mine on without putting the cheese on. I put my cheese on the top, the last layer of cheese, the last 15-20 minutes of cooking time. In the oven, we're going to do let's do 350 instead of 400 for 35 to 40 minutes with foil on. We're going to take the foil off, put more cheese on it, and let it cook an additional 15 minutes. Then we're going to pull it out and let it rest, and I'll meet you back here when it's done. Doesn't that look absolutely amazing? And the meatballs are just kind of dancing around in the middle of it. Sorry, it's getting evening here, so the lighting is off. I am going to let this sit for about 10-15 minutes to rest, and then I'm going to cut into it. What can I say? It's absolutely amazing. And you are going to have to make this yourself if you... Let's back up. Oh, Jesus. Be sure that you make this. This is absolutely amazing. My battery light is blinking. That means we're getting ready to die. So I'm not going to have time to cut into this. But you've seen for yourself how delicious it was, how amazing it looks. I hope you try this recipe. I hope you try a lot of my other recipes. I've got over 200 videos out there that are just waiting for you to try. You know, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I love you guys so very much. I appreciate the support that you're giving me. Go to my Facebook fan page, In the Kitchen with Sandy. Make sure you follow me. I'm on there a whole lot, and I love to correspond with you guys and talk to you guys. So with that being said, enjoy your evening. Make sure you try this. Give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. You better do it. I love you guys. I love you. Kisses to all of you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.